Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boys, Bye here. So yesterday, Saturday with the boy, they did a live stream yesterday, and there was some like heat up discussion about the rise of forts yesterday. So I actually wanted to go there yesterday, to be honest, but then I got kind of like too busy with playing Champion of Olympia, and then I forgot about the live stream. But I rewatched their stream today, and I saw there was some like very heat up discussion about the rise of Fort. I think Speedy got very worked up because they were like, "Oh my God, how can we beat a 3 million fort with like a 2.3 million rallies? What are we gonna do if the other defense side just gonna just like solo up and just defend the fort?" So let me talk a little bit about the mechanic of the game here, okay? So one thing, right? You gotta understand that the Alliance Fortress is like a big building where it takes a long time for you to burn, okay? So usually it's probably the best defending mechanic in the game, right? So when you want to defend something for a long time, you want to place down an Alliance Fortress or two or three or sometimes multiple Alliance Fortress for you to defend. So let's talk about Dimbrocco here in the early zone, right? So like you know that in Scene of Conquest KvK, in the early zone when the level 4 get open, the Alliance Fortress gonna have 3 million tube capacity. And the rally only have a 2.3 million tube capacity only, right? So it's definitely like a disadvantage right there if you want to rally down the fort, right? 100% agree there, right? But let's say, right? Let's say if two kingdom, right? Let's say if 254 and 1903, 1093, my mistake, guy. If 254 and 1093 was kind of even in terms of power, right? You would expect them to have a lot of fort here from 1093, another lot of fort here from 254. And those two kingdoms just gonna keep fighting against each other there, right? They gonna try to fight, gonna try to ride down the fort. Because if the two kingdoms are equal in terms of power, right? So no side can win here, right? And it's gonna be a battle of endurance, right? But what if when one kingdom is so much stronger than the other kingdom? What can you do, right? What can you do if, let's say, if like you saw that 1093, right? They drop a liar fort here, right? Drop a liar fort here, and not 254 couldn't break through here, right? So what can you do? Is there absolutely nothing you can do when you see the when you see the enemy dropping the fort there? Like is there no other solution for like a much stronger kingdom to break through the enemy alliance fortress lineup, right? So so first thing you need to keep in mind is that this is something that this is something that happened, right? That is something that I think of after what happened in this KvK. Maybe during this fight, during the KvK time, right? Maybe when 254 seeing the Alliance Fortress being dropped by 1093, they didn't think of like, oh, what can they do to counter it, right? But I'll tell you some of the things you can do, especially for like a much stronger kingdom, right? So you do know that if let's say if the enemy dropping an Alliance Fortress lie up here, right? And like, what can you do as for like a much stronger kingdom, right? Like one thing you can do is that if you seeing them doing like dropping a live fortress down here, you can also do the same thing, right? Gang whole bunch of like people in your kingdom. Let's say random teleport here, right? Get like about 10, 20, 30 city random teleport here. You can also drop a fort here as well, right? You can drop a fort behind the enemy line, right? And if you say that the Alliance Fortress is so overpowered that it's so hard to take down, hey, all you have to do is defend that fort for 2 or 3 hours, right? That is a solution for like, a kingdom that is considered much stronger than the other kingdom, right? There is something you can do. You can drop or even like a second fort here, drop 2 or 3 fort behind the enemy line, right? Like if your kingdom is stronger than the other kingdom, then that is a solution for you. You can drop the fort behind the line, build it up, right? The moment you have the fort behind the line, then there's a lot of things you can do, right? So that is one thing, especially for specifically for this KvK in this zone, right? Let's say if you were 254, right? I mean like 254, they have the zone here. They have access. They have access right here, right? They have access here from the beginning, right? They could have dropped a 40 from the beginning as well, and just build over, right? It's it's all, I think it's because that I would think the only reason why is it like 254 have such a hard time against 1093. I think the reason number one is that they definitely underestimate 1093 by a lot. I think that is the reason number one. They underestimate the enemy from the beginning, right? And they didn't plan out very well on what they should be doing when it's come to like, oh, if the enemy doing like an alliance fortress blocking us here, what can we do? What can we do to counter them, right? So they didn't have a counter plan. I think when it coming to that zone, right? There was, I think, a couple things here and there they could do if they actually think of it. But I think because like I think the mindset was not there, right? Because I think 254 is definitely underestimate 1093 by a lot. I think so that when the fight happened in this zone right here, right? They didn't pay enough attention to what 1093 was doing, right? And by the time they realized that, oh, 1093 they have so many alliance forces up here already, and we cannot get to the lower 5 gate, it was too late, right? But definitely, like, trust me, right? There are so many things you can do, right? The best way to take down an alliance fortress in the first zone is all you have to do is build around that alliance fortress, have a territory behind the enemy line, right? And if you're complaining about, let's say 556 complaining about, I mean, like, why is it taking so long for burning down the fort here from 254, right? I mean, like, this is a war game, like a war game where people gonna fight for days, right? Do you want the war to end in 4 hours, 5 hours when the alliance fortress go down, right? It's a battle of like endurance here, right? Which side's gonna outlast the other side? Which side are willing to sacrifice more, right? So like it's like defending behind the gate has always been there, right? It's always been there. It's the mechanic for a weaker kingdom or the weaker team to try to defend, to try to burn out the other team, right? Like otherwise, this KvK would be boring. Like let's say if the Alliance Fortress can go down very very quickly in like 3 or 4 hours, and it cannot hold off against a stronger kingdom, right? Like how do you expect like 254 defending against 556 and 1093 right now, 1 versus 2 kingdom? How do you expect 1093 to defend against 254 from the beginning, right? There gotta be some mechanic to help the weaker kingdom to defend against the stronger kingdom. That is where the Alliance Fortress coming into the play, right? And that is just my opinion here, right? In the early zone, right? If you like a stronger kingdom, you have to be able to build your fort behind the enemy line. And if both kingdoms are equally strong, then hey, keep the fight going on for day and day, right? So there is no excuse there, okay? But like, and for later on here in the KvK, right? It's all come down to like which side are willing to fight longer, right? And this is one thing I love the most about Rise of Kingdoms, right? Yes, sometimes it can get very very tiring because it's non-stop fighting, but hey, that is exactly what war is for. That is what I love the most about this game. Like long-lasting fight for days and days. That is why we have all the content to spectate here. And to be honest, like big thanks to all the kingdom in this KvK. I mean, like I really appreciate all of the kingdom and all of the effort for flying non-stop here, so that I, as a content creator, have something to spectate, have some content to make here for my channel, right? I mean, like I would like big thanks to all the kingdom in this KvK, to be honest, guys. But like I just want to share with you guys some of my opinions on what you can do to handle the Alliance Fortress. Okay, guys? Let me know in the comment what you guys think. And thanks for watching the video, guys.